Yeah, hi, this is Reverend Paul Slapkis. I'm speaking with George P. Schwartz, CFA, and he's written a new book, Put Your Treasures Where Your Heart Is. It's morally responsible investing book. Is that the correct name? Treasure Where Your Heart Is?
No, the title of the book is In God We Trust.
God We Trust. I'm so sorry.
Morally responsible investing.
Okay, morally responsible investing, and God we trust. Okay. George, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I run a firm here in Plymouth, Michigan, which manages the Ave Maria Mutual Funds. So me and my staff of 22 people are responsible for the 5 Ave Maria Mutual Funds. Those are Catholic-oriented mutual funds, and in managing those funds, we do it in what we consider a pro-life, pro-family way. We screen out companies that support abortion and pornography. And I wrote a book about the topic, In God We Trust. And that book's available in bookstores everywhere and Amazon, so forth. But the book is about the history and the operations of the Ave Maria Mutual Funds.
Okay, I love Ave Maria. Actually, I'm an all-faith minister, spiritual, whatever anybody wants to live, ordained, and we very often play Ave Maria.
Good for you, Reverend.
As the music. So, what inspired you to take this kind of an approach for finance?
Well, for many years, I managed the investment portfolio for my good friend Tom Monahan of Domino's Pizza fame. And he came to me with his friend Bowie Kuhn about 18 years ago. Bowie Kuhn used to be the commissioner of Major League Baseball. And the two of them, who were clients of mine, said, why don't you start a Catholic mutual fund? So I said to them, well, what do you mean by a Catholic mutual fund? And they said, well, invest in the best companies you can find, but screen out companies that support abortion and pornography. So we checked into the feasibility of that with our SEC lawyers, and they said, yeah, we could do that. So make a long story short, we put together a Catholic advisory board who is made up of prominent lay Catholics, including Tom Monahan at the time and Bowie Kuhn at the time, and several other prominent Catholic individuals who said, okay, besides screening out abortion and pornography, you guys as portfolio managers should also screen out companies related to embryonic stem cell research, which is closely connected to abortion, and also companies that contribute corporate funds to Planned Parenthood, which is the biggest provider of abortions. So anyways, we started doing that in 2001 with the original Ave Maria Mutual Fund, Ave Maria Value Fund, and since then we added 4 additional funds, a growth fund, an international fund, a rising dividend fund, and a bond fund, all using the same screens. And my staff of analysts and portfolio managers have had great success of producing good investment results for our shareholders of those funds. And we have over 100,000 shareholders across the country. They're not all
okay. That's a good amount of people. So give me some idea of In God We Trust, the actual book. What are we going to learn there?
Well, as I said, it's about the history and operations of the mutual funds, but I expand on the concept of capitalism versus socialism. Capitalism, of course, is closely intertwined with investing, and investing, of course, has led to the creation of wealth and prosperity around the world for many years. But I make a sharp distinction between the merits of capitalism and the demerits of socialism. And I point out the obvious, and that is that capitalism helps millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, escape poverty, creates opportunities, creates jobs. Capitalism provides an incentive to produce, to be productive, and it enables savings and investment and creates prosperity and a higher standard of living and a higher level of happiness for people who are involved in the capitalist system. And the liberals, of course, who are pushing socialism in this upcoming Democratic primary, of course, they always forget about the merits of capitalism as it relates to the creation of foundations and endowments which do so much social good around the country, around the world. So democracy and capitalism is go hand in hand, and your listeners well know that socialism doesn't work. It has never worked in the history of the world. Those who support socialism are really economically illiterate, or they're trying to hurt the U.S. economy and stock market, in my view, to help bring down Trump. But some of these nouveau socialists perhaps haven't lived long enough and don't understand how socialism can hurt the economy and hurt the people. Socialism always results in the poor becoming worse off, corruption ensues, crime increases, poverty increases. Of course, under socialism, incentives to produce don't exist. Hopelessness and despair always increase. So it's and there's so many modern day examples. Even if you don't look very far into the past in the history books, but the modern examples obviously would include Venezuela and North Korea and Cuba. It's a pitiful system, and I feel sorry for those people that have been trapped under the yoke of socialism, and it's just pitiful in my mind that these Democrats, by the way, the Democrats who are all pro-abortion, are pushing socialism to various degrees. And I often want to ask some of these socialists, where do you think the government revenues come from? The government's revenues comes from taxation. It comes from capitalists paying taxes, and the capitalism, of course, represents the ability to produce wealth and profits, and therefore taxes. And it's just mind-boggling that anyone with their head screwed on straight could think that socialism would lead to prosperity or happiness for the citizens.
Okay. It's all good. It's interesting, to learn your thought process. You personally, as a young man, did you feel that did you have any idea you'd be doing this kind of work?
Well, I'm a lifelong Catholic. My wife and I, my wife of 51 years, are both Catholic educated, and right out of college I took a job working in a research department of a brokerage firm, and I knew I liked investing, and I liked the challenges associated with being a professional investor. And I've always been strongly pro-life. So when my friend Tom Monahan came to me and proposed the idea of making this a focus of my firm, I just jumped on it and really embraced the idea. And of course, we've grown like crazy. We've got over $2.4 billion in assets under management now with this Catholic pro-life approach to investing, and I've been very blessed to carry this banner of pro-life investing.
Okay, all righty. Well, I was interested in learning more about what you do. I think from my look at it all, it's okay. Everybody has their beliefs and are entitled to them, right? And at least the way I see it, and that's good, because that's freedom, and freedom is very, very, very important for humankind. And if you take it to a business sense, anybody that has the freedom and has that same mindset and wants to pursue their business in a united way in the beliefs that are stated by a corporation, I think that's all good stuff. You know, I have my own personal beliefs, and maybe a little bit different than you, but I still respect your beliefs and thought.
Thank you, Paul.
And I think that's very important for us human beings, of which I do believe. I think the Homo sapien group of us are all brothers and sisters.
Sure.
And how we move our lives forwards in that regard, in my beliefs, is so important. You know, we're very involved with peace and love and hope in our work. We are doing Good News, our broadcast, if you don't mind me sharing for a moment, and not with a religious mindset. It's with an acceptance mindset of all, and trying our best not to be judgmental. And we're even finishing a movie now called Woodstock Forever, Peace, Love, and Hope, with the emphasis of the peace, love, and hope aspect of a gathering that happened 50 years ago. And so, you know, just trying to promote the world as a good place, and, you know, sort of Dale Carnegie, do more with sugar than with salt, and hopefully give people a chance to be who they are. Everybody's entitled, whatever these situations are, pro-life, pro-family, non-pro-life, non-pro-family. You know, everybody, I guess, has their own thoughts. What do you think about that, George?
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense, and it really goes to the heart of democracy, freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and the rest of it. And I think it makes a lot of sense, Paul. And I strongly endorse your views. And God bless you for your good work.
Well, I thank you for that. Actually, I was supposed to be with a couple Pope emissaries a night ago, but the plans had changed. And even on we're involved with the International Day of Peace, September 21st. We have a Pope a message from the Pope included, and his emissary attended we create a human peace circle in Times Square and other places. We're all in it together, right, George?
Absolutely.
Well, I like your thinking, and best of luck. Where can I'm going to ask you another couple of questions, but where can people get the book?
They can get the book almost anywhere, or as they say, better bookstores everywhere, and Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all the rest of them. And it's In God We Trust. The foreword of the book was written by my good friend Lou Holtz, Coach Lou Holtz, the former head football coach at Notre Dame. And it's been very good. One day last week, or a couple of weeks ago now, it was #1 bestseller on Amazon in one of its categories. So very happy about that. And they can people can learn more about our mutual funds at Ave Maria Funds.com, AveMariaFunds.com, or they can call our toll-free number 866 Ave Maria.
I mean, when people call, I'm going to ask you one more question. By chance, can they hear Pavarotti sing Ave Maria?
I don't think so, but maybe that would be a good thing to put on the whatever you call it when they're waiting to hear from one of our people. Yeah, that's right.
That's what I use in my weddings. What a performance. Let me ask you a last question here. As I mentioned, we're very involved with peace, and the International Day of Peace, as declared by the United Nations, 193 countries agreed to, on September 21st to be a day of peace. And so, George, if you wouldn't mind, what does peace mean to you?
Oh, man. It's a wonderful concept. I wish it could exist worldwide forever and ever, but humans being part of a fallen class or a fallen species are inclined to have a lot of vices, including greed and envy, and it's a shame. But I applaud you for your peace efforts, and I say from your lips to God's ears.
Okay. All right, George. Well, it's from both of our lips because obviously you feel you want it as well. So, and that's a good thing. George, big honor. Pleasure to speak with you. Best of luck with the book, and look forward to meeting you again. Take care.
That'd be great. Thank you, Paul. Nice being with you.
George. Bye-bye.
Bye.